in the soul system. We have the red category, or the red colors. That is for the lift category. And we'll get into breaking that each category down a little bit more here in a moment. The blue category, we call the calm category. The green category is balance, and the yellow category is clarify. And you can already kind of understand maybe how we came up with those words, but let's look into it a little bit more deeply. So with our next slide, we're going to start off with balance. Now, balance, every product in the balance category is very nutritionally dense. They are designed to create very good overall wellness. There's extra abundance of adaptogens in these products. One of the main products that's in here, Adaptables and Vital, they each have 6 adaptogens. They're very unique properties and impact that we have. And I like to think of balance as being able to navigate whatever comes your way, regardless. Maybe think of it as like walking on a tightrope, and you're up between 2 buildings and the wind's blowing and you're carrying stuff and you're shifting your weight so that you can find your balance, deal with the stress of being up there and not falling off, because, you know, life does have tons of stress, throws it at us. And with the balance category and the abundance of the adaptogens and those nutrient-dense plants, it allows us to create that foundation even more. So for our next category and slide, let's see what we have. The lift category. I love the lift category because you're going to be thinking of it as helping to bring things up, whether you're bringing up your ability to focus, or you're bringing up your ability to have good energy, being productive. Cinnamate is one of the foundational and key signature products that is in the lift category. And it helps lift up your digestion, helps lift up that focus, helps lift you up and give you that endurance to power through. So you can even look at the icon we've got here. Like, you can see the mountain outline really easily, being able to summit that mountain that is there in front of you and have that energy to climb that. For our next category, color, we have got the Clarify category. And I love Clarify products, especially when you think about it, that it is allowing things to flow or bringing things into focus. Think about like how we've got a sun here, like how a magnifying glass can take that sun and focus it into where we're getting the light showing into that one area and really bringing focus into it, or helping to help the lymphatics flow better, or the urinary system, just things that need to be filtered, flowed. And if we look at it right here, these products are specifically formulated to increase mental acuity, like I was talking about, sharper focus, and helping you to regenerate physically even more so. And then our final category is going to be the calm category. And you notice that the calm icon here does look like a wave right there. You just think about that rocking motion and that gentleness and how it's soothing. So calming category products are designed to help the body deal with those everyday stressors, but help your body to settle in so that that mental angst can disappear, that physical unease. Like, think about it like with people when their stomach gets really upset and they can't really function because they're overwhelmed with that, help that to settle it, or helping that immune system to be able to work better. It's not being so overactive, it's being able to settle down. So when you're looking at these different categories, and we'll see on the next slide here. All right. How do you know which category to use? This is one of my favorite parts of this, because it's really simple. You can use the name of the category and apply it to your issue that you're dealing with. So you say, we've got on here stomach things. So you could be saying, does my stomach need calming? Does my stomach need to be lifted? Does my stomach need to be balanced? Or does it need to be clarified? Otherwise, do I need to settle it down because it's eating me up because it's just too much? Is the food sitting there and I'm bloating so long that I just don't have any digestive energy to actually put that into where I can function? Oh, maybe I need to lift it up. Maybe I need to do both, calm it and lift it. Do I need it to balance because I'm so stressed that I can't eat and I need to be able to put some food in? Or do I need it clarified and to flow better and the bowel to move forward, which is perfect timing because of what we're getting ready to talk about more in depth with the Good Track Detox. And so I want you to be thinking as we are talking about this, what types of colors are we looking at that are actually in this Good Track cleanse, and what is it addressing and what it's doing? But regardless, no matter what you're dealing with, you can fall back, look at the categories, and use those words to help determine which category you need to help address the issue that you have in front of you. Back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Valerie. I love everything you shared, and it just, the colors make you happy and vibrant. And with the detox being heavy on the clarifying side and yellow, it's, you know, think about things in life that are yellow, like for example, the sun and how much nutrition and beauty it provides our lives. So we are going to turn it back over to you, Valerie, to share your wonderful testimony.
Thank you, Ashley. So I have always absolutely loved detoxing because I understood the value of it. And trust me, I have done so many different types of detoxes, and not everyone is willing to go to the extremes I am or listens to their body as well as I do. So one of my pet peeves that I have dealt with over the years is I have had so many times new clients come to me that really should not have been pushed to the level that they were pushed, to where they were detoxed so much to the extreme that I literally just kind of envisioned like they were like standing on the edge of a cliff or hanging on with their fingernails on the edge of the cliff because they had been pushed too much with their body. And what I found was with the Soul Naturals products, and in particular the Good Track Cleanse, it is very, very effective, very, very simple, but it doesn't push people. And I believe that is because of the amount of adaptogens we have in these formulas. Adaptogens, by definition, help bring the body into balance. And then we're using nutritionally dense vital formula in here that is supporting as well. So what we're having happen is we're gently detoxing. The adaptogens are keeping us in balance, and it's helping to prevent those mood swings that can often come about when people don't feel so great because they're detoxing. What I found is people actually can be pretty happy. They can find their energy. They can reach out to me and going, I've never felt this good on a detox before. And it was so easy. Good Track, I have been able to use it to clean up a lot of messy situations from detoxing gone bad.
Thank you, Valerie. And that also reminds me of, you know, we're talking about spring cleaning our homes, and what a beautiful thing to spring clean our bodies and our minds and take out the trash, if you will, so we can move forward more vibrantly. So we have, we want to share on your screen here, you'll see a trial variety kit. So if you are thinking, you know, what do I decide? Where do I start? The help is here. You, in the trial kit, get 3 samples of each drink, including the Soul Royal, which is the collagen. It tastes yummy. So keep in mind, when we are addressing our health, naturally, we are really nourishing the roots of our body and mind and life. So we want to stay consistent in that and build over time. So this is a great starting point to help you build for months forward. And next slide here, we have our president and CEO of Soul Naturals, Mr. Greg Halliday, on to share a little bit more about his perspective on the Good Track Detox. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing well in Texas. Thank you.
I'll bet it's probably a little warmer than where
it is.
Here I see Val, I see Anita. I'm guessing you guys might be like me, but guess what? A little bit of sun, like spring. It's starting to like tantalize us from a distance out here. Yes, I'm super happy to talk about Good Track. In fact, oh man, just lots of interesting thoughts from what's been shared so far that I love. Just about this trial box, actually, because I love what Valerie said about detoxing doesn't have to be crazy. In fact, while she was talking about like a detox gone wrong or something, and that she has to rescue people. So I don't know if any of you have seen Wallace and Gromit, those little like claymation animation stuff. I think it's English, like British. And there's this one, I can't even remember which one it was. We used to watch it with our kids, but there's this one where this lady has a dog and she says he's gone wrong. He's like, I don't remember. He turned into a bad dog. He was a good dog and he became a bad dog. And I'm thinking, with cleansing, a lot of people are like, they get a few days into it. This is gone, something's gone wrong. It's so easy. And I actually love the combination. This is just pure, my opinion. The trial box and get yourself going with the 4 drinks and getting these adaptogens in you, start to strengthen some things, start to a little bit of mild detox, a little bit of balancing, a little bit of centering and giving a little more energy. And then, picking your time for the good tract, because you're just in a better place and the odds that it'll go wrong go down, So, but a comment on the good tract. So a big part of good tract is one of the products, Detox. And as I remember good tracts, you're testing me here. I think it's like Vital, it's fast tracked, it's good vibration, the fiber, and it's Detox, right? Is it those 4 things? Did I get them all? Okay, I get a star today. Well, the Detox has a particular ingredient I wanted to highlight for you today. So part of the good tract cleanse, that is a big contributor to keeping it from going wrong, is this Detox and an ingredient that's called Mangista. It was new to me, brought to us by Dr. Allison and her research and study. And yet, if we lived over in India, it would not be new to us. In fact, Valerie just told me about this book I bought. I don't know if any of you have seen this. It's a big book. It's called Ayurvedic Herbs. And what is the guy? I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but I'll show it to you there. That probably comes up pretty good, huh? It's in here. It's one of the herbs. And we've got a number of books with them. And Dr. Allison had perused a number of studies. What impressed her so much? So the number 1 herb for skin, any kind of skin imbalance. And why that impressed her so much, and one of the reasons why we kind of went down that turned out to be wonderful rabbit hole of Mangista and put it as part of this cleanse, is because the skin manifests so much for us, right? If we'll just think about it a little bit, and with a little bit of education, when there are imbalances or blockages, like Valerie said, things that interrupt flow, when our body has to flow, blood and air and oxygen and lymph, nutrients have to flow to the cells, or energy is compromised. Electrical impulses have to flow, our thoughts, neurotransmitters. I mean, we think about everything that flows. In fact, the other day I was looking at a statistic about an atom. Somebody posted, did you know that an atom is 99.9% empty space? And really, you get in there and you look at atoms and they have their nucleus, and then there's the electrons that are spinning and carving out all the space. So most of it's space, or in other words, why that is so interesting to me is we are energy. We need flow. It can't be blocked. It's most of us, even though the other parts are pretty dang important. We need the flow. So Mangista is about flow. That's what captivated us, and why we put it in Detox, which is a key part of the good tract cleanse. It's a wonderful blood purifier, flow reestablisher for blood, lymph, a flow reestablisher. And I believe, and there's some great studies about its adaptogenic properties. So nervous system and nerve impulse flow. And there are probably 3 or 4 places we can look at where it just gives us the assist, that boost, that clarifying nutrient. And like the book I was showing you, science can show us why it does that. Because they've identified the chemicals, these wonderful plant chemicals that are in it. And then some of it science hasn't really explained. But when you use it and you experience it, it's this wonderful, not going to pull me off the cliff if I'm hanging on by my fingernails, because stuff is just blocked, stuck, frozen, doesn't move. I got to make a change, and I need to cleanse. I need to remove toxin, waste. One of the other interesting facts that has to do with this directly to me is Dr. Allison talked about, the byproducts of all of what's going on in our amazing brains. I'm not saying my brain's amazing. I'm saying yours are. But when we think and when we react and we see and we calibrate and we assess, all these chemical reactions happen, and they need to be cleared out by sleep. And isn't it so amazing how when we clear things out and restore flow, we sleep better? So I just think Mangista, it's only one ingredient. There's a bunch of great ingredients in Omnitox, to not even mention the other products in Good Tract. But Mangista, to me, is a game changer. It's number one in a lot of situations in Ayurveda for a reason, meaning like if you're going to build your program, I'm starting there with Mangista and I'm going to build it out. And in traditional Chinese medicine, used there a lot too, even though it's principally an Indian herb. It's for a reason. That flow and the particular makeup, and I personally think because it's a superior herb and you can use it in quantities, you can scale it up, you can listen to your body and do what needs to be done to get there with Mangista. Like in my case, it's like lungs and asthma. There's a lot of history there that I've undone, and I'm in such a better place. But from time to time, stress can come in and all of a sudden, boom, you can feel some of that again. There's great study there and work, and I've experienced that as well. When I add that one in, this Omnitox, respiratory situation suddenly strengthens, things change. So that's a little bit, maybe more than you were asking for, Ashley, of a little bit of thoughts on Good Tract, and maybe one of the signature herbs in Good Tract, which is the Mangista, which you will find on the label as the featured herb in Omnitox, one of the key components of Good Tract.
Thank you so much, Greg. It's good to see you. And thank you for formulating simple ways so that we can improve our health. And all of these products have side benefits, right? So we can do this cleanse and have our own personal experience with a lot more benefits than maybe we thought in the beginning. So Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Okay, and moving forward here so we are also, Greg is going to share his perspective on your vision for Soul Naturals when you founded the company over 10 years ago. Can't believe it's been over 10 years, Greg.
Sometimes I can, and other time, but most of the time it's just flown by.
Yeah.
Yes, well, you probably you're going to hear too much from me tonight, but one of the reasons that we founded the company was because of these adaptogens and our belief that if we can build them into all of the formulas, that we would open up a door where people could see results and changes that they were not able to see with what we had at our disposal, which was, our experience was hundreds and hundreds of herbal formulas and good quality. And we'd seen lots of great changes in our life because of it. So it's why we believed, first of all, that this could happen. But the adaptogens and our whole falling into those through, as you know, our family experiences, and then also some personal experiences through the industry and working with suppliers led us to decide to found Soul with the hope that a few things could change for people. Number one, Soul could provide nutrition no matter what formula for both the physical changes that we need to feel better and the corollary emotionally and mentally. And we supposed that if we build that into formulas, we could see quicker results for people. And in many cases, people could see even long-term stubborn things. They could see some ways in which they could solve those problems. So those were a couple of our hopes. We didn't see any company doing that. And so that's another reason why we decided we needed to found one. And secondly, we so deeply believed in a natural approach to health. It was almost a natural evolution to, is there a way that we can make it even easier for people and make it better for people? So easier and better. And with adaptogens, I think we do both. People are able to, with fewer formulas, address a greater number of things. We don't think we have everything. That's why there's always development at Soul. We continue to develop products, but with the products that we do have, I would estimate that we would have had to have, prior to Soul's formulas, around 5 times as many formulas, probably 150 to 200 formulas instead of 25 or 30 formulas, based on really quality ingredients and what you would need to get the same level of balance and change. So those are some of the visions. More than anything, I can tell you, Ashley, that's kind of like the technical, I guess, scientific side, health side. From the people side, we wanted to provide a place where a community could form and gather that was about supporting one another, educating one another. In other words, all the information we get in research, in personal experience, in connection from industry suppliers, we pass all of it on and give that to you. And hopefully you'll pass it on and give it to all those that you connect with, so that we all have the same information. So we all have the same opportunity to make a change in our own health, make improvements. And hopefully we could be a light that other people can look to and go, I want to learn that. I want to have that resource, that benefit in my life. So that whole people side is the other 50% of the equation on why we founded Soul. And I have to tell you, we're just grateful and impressed looking at the caliber of people, those of you here tonight, other people who we've heard from on different days, how they'll help and share, whether or not a person's connected in some way to them and their business. That doesn't come up. What comes up is you're part of the Soul family. If you're not part of the Soul family, hey, we'll still help you, but come and join us and have all the information and all the benefit support we have. So that's a culture that we see and we love so much. So those are our reasons. A connection and a foundation and an anchor for people, and also improvement in the way that we use natural health, because we think we need more. The stresses are greater. Let's just say the environment is a little more intense that we live in than probably in some ways than it was 100 years ago. And it requires greater nutrition and I think a little more complete and concentrated supplementation that draws from really everything that the world has to offer, wherever it is in the world.
Thank you, Greg.
You bet.
And there's certainly been a lot of success and strong foundation built on everything that you've shared. So next we have our wonderful Miss Anita Carpenter. She is going to share the phone call that changed my life. So please take it over, Anita.
Thanks, Ashley. Most people join Soul because they have a physical or emotional need. Not to say that I didn't, but I joined it because of a financial need I had. My dear friend Lois Trippett called me one day on my way home from work. And let me give you a little background here. 12 years prior to this phone call, my husband had passed away. And he was the breadwinner of the family. I had the privilege of being home with my children. So after he passed away, I needed to work. So I started working for this company, and it looked like it was going to be a long-term position. Awesome. Well, after 10 years, the company closed. And so for the next 2 years, I kind of floundered trying to find my place that would be able to meet the needs financially that I had and be close enough to home that it would be beneficial. And Lois called me one day because she knew the need I had. I was driving an hour to work, an hour back, and I was making just over minimum wage. And so she knew that there was a need. And she called me one day and she said, Anita, I got to tell you about this new company. She said, I don't know how it works, but I just got a lot of money from them. And Lois had a little bit background with Lois. She had an herb store in El Paso, Texas. So she had a lot of people coming through her store. Lois had helped a lot of people. In fact, she's been my friend for years. And she trained me in the amount of herbal knowledge that I had. And I took herbs, but I wasn't into it like Lois was. So she had people coming into her store and she was seeing great results. And as she shared, then the compensation started coming through and she knew my need. And she said, Anita, you might want to look into this. So it was at that point then that I looked into it. Lois shared with me also, she said, it's a very new company. She said, but I know the founder and he's very trustworthy. She said he has many years of knowledge in the herb business and I trust him. And so that started my journey with Soul. I did continue to work part-time, or I continued to work for a few years, but last year I was able to retire and be able to stay home. I want to share a few of the answers to this, some reasons why I chose to go this way, other than the financial. It's helped me emotionally and physically. You don't really realize what you need until the need is met, and then you go back to not having it. So there's times that, as I've taken the product, maybe I don't take it for a few days and I just start feeling a little different. And so physically and emotionally, it's helped me. It is a great product. It's a trusted founder and founders, I should say, in the company. It's a great compensation plan. It has minimal to no startup fee. That was huge for me where I was at financially in my life at that point. A website is provided. So I had already tried to work with a company and everything all the hoops you had to go through just to get a website set up. And then the expense after that was unreal. There's a vehicle bonus as you work up towards it. I get to have my own hours. I've met great people. It's my main support group other than my family and my church family. It is just a company that I don't know where I would be without the product and without the friendships and definitely without the money. So that's my story. And that's the phone call that changed my life.
Love that, Anita. And we felt every word that you expressed. Thank you so much. So to all of you out there, we've shared our hearts tonight, shared wonderful testimonies. So are you interested in joining the Soul family? Do you have questions? The curiosity is there. There are new kits that are tailored to you and what your specific interests are. And let me move my screen here. The account setup is very intuitive, very simple, and whoever invited you to this call can help you move forward in this area. So we will move on to, a lot of times what we did tonight was shared our stories, right? And if you have a story, we encourage you to share your story. The more who know, the more we can light those lights and grow together and help people emotionally, physically, and with the business opportunity financially as well. So thank you again for joining Stories of Hope. We are here every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to join our Facebook community at Stories of Hope, and also text the word HOPE to the phone number provided down below. Thank y'all again, and we look forward to seeing you next